Well, turning to a broader look at economic conditions, particularly the financial markets, it's time to talk business with Bob Williams, Senior Vice President with Delta Trust Investments. They're located in Southeast, Central, and Northwest Arkansas. Bob, good to have you back with us.
Thanks, Roby.
Well, we're entering the start of the third quarter earnings period. I want to go back and talk about the last quarter we've gone through. By and large, it was a decent third quarter for the financial markets, especially when you compare it to kind of the first half of the year. What have been some of the positive and negative signs for the markets this past quarter, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, we had 13 of the 16 stocks in the Arkansas index that we follow that were up, had a positive return for the quarter. So obviously that was a very strong finish. All in all, we're cautiously optimistic going forward as well.
Well, certainly those 16 stocks are not representative of the entire financial markets, but it is good to look at them from a state perspective. Tell me, Bob, were you surprised by anything in those numbers?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised, yes, to see that we had that many companies with good showings. It's definitely a difficult economic environment, and the fact that these companies are able to cut their costs and compete and still, meet or beat expectations of the analysts is very much a positive note.
Now, this week we're beginning to see third quarter earnings reports. What's kind of the expectation from the financial community for the broader markets?
Well, we're cautiously optimistic, but we remain concerned about what's going to happen with interest rates. The Fed has announced their intention to continue to try and ease or lower interest rates a little bit further, and I think probably we're getting to the point where it's like pushing on a slack rope. There's just not much more that the Fed can do here. But all in all, we're cautiously optimistic. Consumer sentiment is looking better. Investor sentiment is looking better, and we're hopeful for the fourth quarter.
Now, if third quarter earnings are by and large pretty solid, and I would note that the second quarter was pretty decent, it's going to reinforce this notion that corporations are stockpiling cash from profits. Now, one of the things that we've seen is a lot of companies buying back their stock. A, do you see more of that happening? And B, do we ultimately see some of those profits translate into new job hires?
Well, hopefully, obviously, we hope that this corporate cash will be used to grow the business as the economy improves. We're, again, a little bit concerned about which way that's going to go, but all in all, we do hope that this corporate cash is, not only provides a buffer for these companies, but will provide an opportunity down the road for these companies to expand as the economy improves.
Well, there's been some concerns over the last few months about a potential double-dip recession. Some camps don't see that happening. Others say that some signs of it still do exist. What do you see on that horizon?
Well, the Fed's doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen. I saw a report from the Institute of Economists that said that we were definitely out of the recession, so hopefully we're not going to have that. But again, it depends, gross domestic product, investor sentiment. Any disappointing numbers that come out right now will give people an excuse to take profits and move to the sidelines, and that's why we're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, one last thought here, Bob. What should we be looking for? What we should be paying attention to in terms of the data, the metrics, some of the things that we're going to be seeing in the next few weeks?
Well, I mean, we're going to be looking for overall investor sentiment to continue to go positively. In terms of the earnings, obviously, we're going to hope that they meet or beat analysts' expectations. Obviously, if they can come in ahead of analysts' expectations, we'll see the stock prices improve. And this week we've got Bank of the Ozarks, Walmart de Mexico, and are scheduled to release earnings, and J.B. Hunt as well. So we'll get a quick look by the end of the week.
All right, he is Bob Williams, Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Delta Trust Investments. As always, thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Roby.